Howdy, welcome to RVing with the Crankies. I'm Rusty.
I'm not cranky, I'm Jonna. Please enjoy our YouTube channel, give us a thumbs up, and subscribe. Ring the bell for updates.
Leave us comments as we strive to improve.
Enjoy.
Alright, this is the Mclean House. Let's see what's about the Mclean House. On midday, April 9th, 1865, Robert E. Lee rode into this yard, dismounted, and disappeared into the Mclean House. Grant, surrounded by generals and staff officers, soon followed. Dozens of officers, horses, and onlookers waited outside. After 90 minutes, Lee and Grant emerged. To the silent salutes of Union officers, Lee rode back through the village to his defeated army. In the home that hosted the surrender meetings was one of the best in Appomattox. Built in 1848, it has since, in 1862, been owned by businessman Wilmer Mclean. The house became a sensation after the surrender. Union officers took some mementos, and in 1893 it was dismantled for display in Washington, D.C. That display never happened, and the National Park Service reconstructed the building on its original site in 1940.
Wow.
Okay, the Plunkett Meat Store. The store was built in 1850 by John Plunkett. At the time of the surrender, it was owned by Albert Francis Meeks, and so it was called the Plunkett Meat Store after the original owner and the owner at the time of the surrender. Meeks used the ground floor for the store, the basement for storage goods, and lived with his family on the top floor. His son Lafayette Meeks was a young Confederate soldier who died of typhoid fever in 1881 at the age of 18. He is buried behind the store building. Francis Meeks died in 1869. The building was remodeled in the 1870s to be used as a Presbyterian church and manse. The store in 1860 was a popular site in the village for Appomattox Courthouse, serving also as a post office, shop, and a meeting place to discuss the events of the day, especially busy during the monthly court sessions. They were held across the street in the first Thursday after the first Monday of each month. Goods from all over the country would be brought in to be traded or sold, and there usually were political speeches and rallies. Since the main agricultural products were tobacco, wheat, and corn, there was always a supply of these crops in the store, as well as the products that were brought in by railroad. Wartime landscape. The road traced in front of you is a remnant of the Lynchburg Stage Road. On April 9, 1865, the most important road in Virginia to Robert E. Lee. Along this road, he planned to escape west, hopefully eventually to turn south and join Joe Johnston's army in North Carolina. When the Federals blocked this route, Lee had no choice but to surrender. To the right of this village is the Appomattox Courthouse, much as it did when Grant arrived here afternoon of April 9th. He was met briefly with General Sheridan in Ord. Is General Lee up there? Grant asked Sheridan. He himself is over in that house, Sheridan replied. Come, let us go over. With that simple declaration, Grant started along this road to one of the most important meetings in American history. 3 hours later, he would return along this route bearing the news of Lee's surrender. Grant, as he appeared the last year of the war, here he stands with his horse Cincinnati, the mount he rode into the village to meet Lee on April 9th. A strategic delay. As Lee's Confederate army retreated west, Federal forces blocked their way. Near this spot, Union artillery pieces commanded by James H. Lord and Cavalry Brigade led by Brevet Brigadier General Charles Smith proved a strategic delay to the Confederate retreat, allowing time for other Federal units to move into position and ensure General Robert E. Lee's surrender on April 9, 1865. James Lord in 1875 graduated from the United States Military Academy at West Point and at Pennsylvania, received the brevet rank of Major for gallant and meritorious service in action at Appomattox Courthouse. William Roberts was the youngest Confederate general in service who promoted to Brigadier General in February of 1865. During the early hours of April 9, 1865, Confederate forces moved in position on the west side of the Appomattox Courthouse and prepared to launch a dawn assault to open the road. Before daylight, Lord's two 3-inch ordnance rifles, blue cannons on maps, began firing shells into Confederate formations. Skirmishes of the 1st Maine Cavalry moved forward to Lord's battery. When Southern troops advanced, the Federal skirmishers withdrew and Lord's cannoneers fled. Brigadier General William Roberts' North Carolina Cavalry Brigade captured 2 Union cannons and some remaining artillerymen, but the delay helped secure the Confederate surrender. There's the cannons right out there.